Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Jenny Rue, and I'm the Director of Curriculum and Instruction at IBABC. So first of all, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us at this virtual open house for the Commercial Broker Boot Camp Certification Program. As you can see, Melanie is here with me, and she's going to answer a bunch of questions about the program as well as how to navigate through the thing. If you have any other questions that you'd like to ask, you can do that through the chat Q&A function that you'll find kind of on the bottom of your screen. If you need some help, we can help you with that. And as well, if you're interested in doing some multiple registrations, just send me an email with the names of the people you would like registered, as well as their email addresses and their which elective they'd like to take. Now, the first elective is obviously mandatory, but you can take further electives for an extra. I think there's five
$50.
further electives. Yeah, $50, and there's 5 extra electives that you can select. So, yeah. So without further ado, Melanie, go ahead and do your thing.
Hi, guys. So welcome. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Melanie, and I'm going to kind of take you through high level of what the Commercial Broker Boot Camp program is. So at any point in time, if you guys have any questions, you can throw them in the chat box. Usually what happens is people have questions after the fact, which is no problem as well. Both Jenny and myself are able to answer questions at any point in time. I'm hopefully going to answer a lot of your questions anyways. So I'm just going to share up my screen. You'll notice that I've got IBABC's page up, which actually gives you a high level of what the Commercial Broker Boot Camp is and how to register for it. So this is on their main page, and you can access this. However, you do actually come to MRD's site to register. But you'll notice that we have information here about the fees. I'm not going to read this. I'm just going to tell you about it. So basically how the boot camp is set up is it is set up with 5 mandatory programs. So I'm actually just going to go here. So this is the page that you will see when you actually click onto our website in order to register. So we've got 5 mandatory modules. The first one is commercial risk assessment. Then we've got our introduction to commercial general liability, introduction to commercial property, commercial extensions and endorsements, and business interruption. Those are your 5 mandatory courses that make up this program. Then you can choose one elective. So you can choose farm insurance, cyber liability, manufacturers and wholesalers, cannabis, builder's risk wrap-up liability. Now, the program is priced at $550 plus tax, which gives you your 5 mandatory programs and your 1 elective. Once you actually purchase that main program, you will get to your own landing page, which I will show you in a minute. And from there, you can choose to purchase additional programs if you wish. And they are at a reduced price there for all individuals that are part of the program. Now, a little bit about the program itself. So if any of you have done training with me before, you probably know exactly what to expect. Our training is developed in a way to take somebody from entry level, meaning very little commercial experience, if not none, and to get them to the point where they would almost be equivalent to really an intermediate underwriter. So for example, with our commercial liability program, and we'll use that one as an example, we not only explain to them what the CGL package is, like what the product is, but we actually go through a very in-depth step-by-step of the entire commercial general liability wording. Meaning we cover each and every section. We talk about every exclusion. We talk about how to fill those gaps in those exclusions. So for example, errors and admissions is excluded. Here's where you would get this product. These are the type of clients that would need that. So we go very, very detailed in all of our programs. All of the courses are approximately 4 hours. Now, in saying that, it's not 4 hours of recorded content. It is probably about 3 hours of recorded content, which is broken down into small bite-sized modules. So the modules are typically anywhere between a half hour, 45 minutes. Some programs have 3 modules, some have 4, it depends on the content. So they're actually broken down into bite size. But what really makes this program unique from any other program really is that we control the learning the entire way through. So every single program has case studies, quizzes, and it's not, where you go and you press play and you listen and then you walk away. That's not how we believe in training. What it is actually in-depth scenario-based questions that they actually have to answer and submit to our team. And our team actually marks them and sends them back with guidance. So we're actually making sure that they know what they're doing. I know it's a novel concept, isn't it? But we don't believe in one-touch training. Really, this training is developed to make your brokers amazing, more amazing than they are right now. So when you purchase the program, you'll actually get to what's known as your landing page. So every single client has their own landing page. You'll notice here that mine says Melanie. Yours would say your name. We always have updates posted here. So whenever we're uploading new courses or we are doing changes to a program, anything along those lines, when it's time to make sure you have your education hours in, we post all sorts of updates. Further down, you will see the section where you can actually choose those electives that we talked about. So you can purchase those electives there. You can actually purchase those at any time. So you don't have to purchase them right away. They're available there for you, and you can purchase them whenever you choose. We have launched this program in other provinces as well, and we have found that a lot of people finish the program and then they are purchasing the additional courses. There's a plethora of information in them, so we try to make sure it's well versed. Now, as you go farther down, and mine looks a little bit different than what yours would, but you would actually see all of your different programs there. So just as an example, I'm going to use our CGL program. So when you click onto view now, the program actually comes up for you and it gives you all the information that you would need. So for example, I'm just going to show a take note thing here. Actually, I'm just going to go right into the commercial general liability. Sorry about this. So basically what it does is it actually breaks it down for you and it will monitor what you're doing as you're going through. So you'll notice here's all of the material, all of the different sections of the course. There is a materials tab that provides tons of cheat sheets. So in every single one of our courses, we have cheat sheets for you. We have articles, we have YouTube videos, we have tons of links for you to be able to access. And the reason that we do that is it's very hard for learners to sit in an on-demand course, hear everything, retain it all, and be able to walk away. So one of the things that we take a lot of pride in is making sure that we provide a lot of resources. So in every single one of our programs, there's typically a minimum of about 5 different resources. Some of them are full-blown workbooks, meaning, definitions, all sorts of different things that way. When you get into the course itself, the lesson content, every single one will give you an idea of how long it is. So you'll always identify that it'll say, this is an 11-minute presentation, a 15-minute, a 25-minute, 45-minute. You'll do the presentation. Now, something that's, I wouldn't say interesting, but something that's important is we want to control the learning. So in our system, you are not able to actually fast forward through the video. You actually have to completely watch the video all the way through in order for it to move you on to the next section. And the reason for that, obviously, is because we're not looking for a press play and walk away, get your hours and be done with it. We're looking at actually educating to make sure that you have that knowledge. So you are not able to move forward until you've completed that. Once you move forward, you'll get to the next lesson. So as an example, I'm just going to click mark complete here, but you would not be able to do that, or the learner would not be able to do that. So it would then take you to the next lesson. We have a notepad here, and this notepad is available in every single module, and you can take notes as you're listening to the videos, as you're doing whatever you're doing, and it will actually save for the learner in the exact area that they're in. So you'll notice that I'm in the CGL definitions. Right away, the note says CGL definitions. Any notes they take will then be saved. They can save it to our system so they can access it anytime, or they can also save it as a Word document onto their own system. So they have all of that availability as well. Now, once they go through, each section will pop up green here, as you can see here, showing the learner that they've completed that. So they can obviously log out, log in, come back at any time, and take however long they need to complete the programs. It always gives an idea of where they're at, so the percentage that they're complete, as well as the last activity. So for those of you that are principal brokers, we actually can monitor everything that your employee's doing. So we can actually monitor when they're in the system, how long they're in the system, how many times they had to do a quiz, when they submitted assignments, how they did on assignments. Certificates are available to be reprinted at any time. All of that information is actually kept on our system. So we have that ability to provide that feedback. So that kind of gives you a high-level overview. I just tapped into one course to kind of show you, but we have really detailed instructions. The program is extremely user-friendly. The materials that they do have to submit, so for example, with the CGL course as an example, we have a couple different assignments that have to be submitted. One of the CGL scenario assignments, as you can see here, is actually 8 very detailed scenarios, asking about, would this kind of scenario be covered? Why would it not be covered? Where would it be excluded? So we're actually teaching them to really delve deep and make sure they know it. When they submit it, if they do get questions wrong, we actually just don't say it's wrong. We give them feedback on it and guide them to where it is correct in the policy wording. So they really have a deep, deep understanding. When you get into our other programs like our commercial property, I think there's 16 scenarios that have to be submitted on top of a couple quizzes. So every single part of this program is developed that way. So they are going to get the best out of their learning, which means that you'll get a return on your investment. So any questions about that so far? It's a lot to take in, I know, right? You're like, holy Melanie. So far, so good? Excellent. So with respect to registration, and I'm just going to go back to this page here. So with registration, you can actually register a one-off if you so feel the need. So you can actually just register one individual. Now, one thing that you have to be aware of that. When you register the individual, you need to make sure that it's registered in the first and last name of the individual actually taking the course. Now, any credit card can be used to pay for the program, but the first name and last name and email address has to be that of the actual user, because it's going to be tracked on our program for accreditation, and the certificates are automatically issued on our system as well in the name that's put in. So for accreditation purposes, tracking all of that, you need to make sure that it's in that individual's name. Now, if you want to register more than 5, or even if you want to register 3 and it's easier for you to do it through us manually, that's fine. All we need is a list of names, first and last, the way that it would be shown on their license, as well as their email addresses. And then you can take advantage of discounts. So when you have 5 to 15 students, there is a 10% discount. When there's 16 to 25, there's a 15% discount. And then more than 25 students, you would contact Jenny directly for pricing on that. When they actually have access, they get access for 1 year. So they can actually take however long they need to. And sometimes people take a little bit longer than others. Even though it's accredited for 4 hours, does not mean that it's only going to take 4 hours. There are times that people go back and redo some of them. We just had somebody email the other day saying, I want to go back and redo that. Can I have access again? And we gave them access again. Same with like quizzes and things like that. Sometimes they just want to go back and get that information. But you can email all that information to Jenny. Jenny can get that information to us. We can set everybody up, and then they would have access immediately, and we can invoice you one time for the individuals that are registered. Now, with respect to certificates and whatnot as well. So any of the courses that you choose, as I mentioned, they're all accredited for technical. So these are all technical offering, and they are, as I mentioned, quite detailed. We do update these frequently. So as an example, our cyber course, we've actually rewritten our cyber course 4 times in the last year and a bit, because you have to keep up with what's going on in the industry. So it's not uncommon for us to make updates to the course. However, if an individual has completed that program, they've gotten their certificate for it, and we make an update, they can still go back and redo that module or redo that portion, and it doesn't affect their certificate that they've already received. When we do updates to courses, we actually put it on the update. So it would be on the page, our main page. So if a brokerage has multiple branches, can we get the discounts if employees are from all different branches? Yes. Yes, you can. So we would just need a list all together, and then we can do that for sure. Excellent, Christy. All right. So there's a lot of information, obviously, but we take great pride in our programming. As I said, if you've done training with us before, you definitely know what to expect. We have tons of referrals and recommendations on LinkedIn if you want to go and check those out. We have lots that we can do for sure. It's pretty self-explanatory, like I said. One last thing I want to point out to you guys is we do have 24-hour chat. So down here in the bottom, this is our chat page. We actually offer chat 24 hours a day. So we have a team that is always here to help. So whether it is like technical support or they need help on a program question or whatever it is, our chat team is always there. So we have 24 hours chat team to help as well. And I think that kind of sums it up. I mean, basic information, super exciting programming, all of the hot topics that our brokers definitely need. One of the questions I do get asked, and I'll bring it up now before I get asked, is, could a junior or intermediate broker take this course? Yes. Our program is really detailed. So it's not high level, like it's really getting down into the nitty-gritty. And I will also mention that we train from a perspective of not just brokers, but in the sessions, we're always referencing like what brokers need and what underwriters need and how does this affect claims. All of that is in every one of our programs as well. So we take our training from a holistic approach. Thanks, Jennifer. Amazing. Anybody have any questions? I want to be respectful of your time. Now, you can email any questions directly to Jenny or directly to myself if you wish. Jenny and I can answer any questions that you have. You might want to just float around a little bit, take a look, and then you will have some answers on that. So does this program allow for level 1 broker licensing or towards level 2? No, but Jenny can probably answer that better than me. As of right now, no. Although that's a very good point, Leanne. Jenny, I'll leave that one with you because that's something we should maybe look into with respect to your level 2.
Yeah, let me take that offline and look into that, and we can circle back with you, Leanne.
Yeah, that's a great question. It's a great question. Perfect. I'm going to stick on the line for a couple seconds in case anybody, CE credits. Yeah, so it actually is 4 hours technical, for every program. Now, one thing I do want to mention, if you go and you look into, no, actually, I think it's all updated. We're good. So if you notice here, your accreditation is on everyone. So it is 4 hours of technical for every single course. So that means the program overall is actually quite robust. And again, technical. Excellent. All right. I just want to say thank you very much, guys, for coming and hanging out with us today. We are going to post this video on IBABC's page as well as on the landing page. If there is any questions that come up today or Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or whenever, please don't hesitate to reach out to us, even if it's questions about content or about registration. We are here to help, and we're here to answer any of those questions. Other than that, thanks for coming, and I'll stick around for another minute or two in case anybody has any questions. Thanks so much, Jenny.
Thanks, Melanie. Appreciate this.